Welcome to FAM 450, Sexuality and the Family System. This is an overview video of some important things to know about the class and how things are going to work this semester. My name is Samantha Anderson. I'm going to be your instructor for the class. There's my contact information just so you can kind of get to know me a little bit. I am a graduate of USM. I have a master's in Child and Family Studies, and I did my master's degree all online. I don't have an office on campus. I'm actually out of state, so we can't have face-to-face meetings on campus, unfortunately. But I'm really good about responding to email. So if you have any questions or problems or anything, most of the time we can just resolve those over email. It really is the best way for me to be able to communicate with you guys on a one-on-one kind of basis. I do have my phone number listed here if you have some kind of emergency and the email's not working. Or if you want to set up an appointment for a phone call, or we could do Skype or something like that if you're needing to have a meeting, just email me and try to set up an appointment. That way I can make sure that I'm available to talk if you need to. But email is definitely the best way to get a hold of me. Make sure you're using your USM email address, not your personal email address. And then also take note of the spelling of my last name. It's S-E-N, not S-O-N. So make sure to spell it correctly if you're just typing it in. Or you can just send me a message through Canvas and it'll automatically go to my email. So that works too. Okay, some things about online learning in general. Like I said, I did my master's online, so I definitely understand where you guys are, the position you're in as an online student. It has a lot of great benefits as far as being able to work around your schedule and everybody's busy lives. It's kind of nice to not have to be somewhere at a certain time. The one thing I would say is that online learning just requires a lot more student responsibility. Because we're not sitting down on a regular schedule, sometimes online classes tend to get forgotten, kind of put on the back burner. But if you're signing up for an online class, you are agreeing to take on that responsibility that you're going to be checking in regularly, making sure that you know when the due dates are. Just it takes a lot more self-discipline and motivation on your part to be able to stay organized and really be successful in an online class. I would recommend a daily check-in. If you can't do that, at least a few times a week so you can make sure you know what's going on in the class. I will be sending out announcements and updating things, and you just want to make sure that you always know what's going on so you don't accidentally miss something. For technical difficulties, if you are having some kind of computer problem, please email me and let me know what's going on. But you might need to contact the tech support office for USM because if it's something technical, I might not have that expertise to be able to help you. But do let me know what's happening. And technical difficulties are not an acceptable excuse to be able to turn something in late. So you just want to be really careful about backing up your work. That way, if something happens to your computer, you can have your assignment saved somewhere else. Like if you email it to yourself, or if you save it on your Google Drive or something like that, and you can get to it from any computer. Also, don't wait until the last minute because if you're trying to get something submitted and the due date is like, time is ticking down, that is really, stressful and it can make you miss the window. So if you had turned it in, a few hours early or even the day before, then if you have a technical difficulty, you have time to fix it and still get your assignment submitted. For late work, like I was saying before with the technical issues, this is why it's so important because I don't accept any late work for the most part. Our whole department, the online child and family department, nobody should accept online late work. So we want to make sure that you guys are responsible and that you're taking charge of your own education, and late days tend to just pile up, and it's just a whole lot easier for everybody if we just have one set due date and not a whole bunch of late days. So I'm not going to be opening quizzes or tests late. If you miss a quiz or a test, you're going to get a 0 on it. Same thing for assignments. The window will close. You will not be able to submit after the due date has passed. So please be really careful about writing down the due dates, putting a reminder in your phone or whatever you need to do to make sure you don't miss those dates because they're really important. The only exception to that would be if you have some kind of major unforeseeable emergency, which I do understand that that happens sometimes. And it's not going to be things like I had a doctor's appointment or I had to work late or I went on vacation. Like all of those things are just kind of normal life. But sometimes something unexpected does happen, a huge emergency, and I understand that. So if you have that happen, you'll need to contact the Office of Student Affairs. You'll document what your emergency is, and then they'll let me know and we can work something out. So for the most part, just be sure to get your assignments turned in on time and you'll be okay. An overview of the class itself. Here's the textbook that we're going to be using. It's Sexuality Now by Carol. I'm teaching mostly out of the 5th edition because that's the one that I've been using for a while now. A publisher did just come out with a 6th edition, and I believe that's the one that's available to you guys if you're buying it through the bookstore. That's fine. We'll try to work around it if there's any differences in the textbook. So either 5th or 6th is okay. For the assignments, you'll have a grade communications form that you need to turn in. That's not worth any points, but it's more of like a consent form. We cannot talk about your grade over email until that's been turned in. So just make sure to get that turned in so that if you have a question about your grade, we can have a conversation about it. And there'll also be a syllabus quiz, a cultural comparison, a project, 4 quizzes, and 2 tests. And I have lots more information about all of these things on the class in Canvas and also on the syllabus. So more details coming soon about all of those things. I want to thank Dr. Kimberly. She has been helping me with this class. She's an expert in sexual health, and that's her area of expertise is human sexuality. And she has made a whole lot of really great lecture videos that she just has a great way of explaining things, and I didn't want to try to recreate those because I feel like she says it better. So some of the videos will be by me, others will be by Dr. Kimberly. She's been gracious enough to let me use some of her lecture videos in this class. So we really appreciate Dr. Kimberly and her expertise. Lastly, we're going to be taking an educational approach in this class. So when we're learning about sexuality, some of these topics can be kind of sensitive, kind of divisive sometimes. Maybe there's some people think one way, others are complete opposite, and we're all trying to learn at the same time when we have completely different views. So the idea behind this class is that we're not trying to promote one view over the other. It's just that we're trying to learn about all the views. So we just, if it's something that you have objections to or you don't agree with, that's okay. But we still need to learn about those things. So just think of it as an educational approach. It's not something that you have to agree with, but you do need to understand where that side is coming from. You need to know the information on those things. So try to kind of set your personal beliefs aside as you're learning about these things, and you'll learn something new and maybe have a little more appreciation for what the other side thinks or believes. So just try to stay neutral and look at it as a learning experience when you're learning about those things. I'm really looking forward to this class, and let me know if you have any questions.